Do you agree with Justice Scalia's view that Roe was wrongly decided?
Senator, I completely understand why you are asking the question, but again, I can't pre-commit or say, yes, I'm going in with some agenda, because I'm not. I don't have any agenda. I have no agenda to try to overrule Casey. I have an agenda to stick to the rule of law and decide cases as they come.
When Judge Amy Coney Barrett was before the Senate during her Supreme Court confirmation hearing, she declined over and over again to say anything about what she really thought about pretty much anything. But Amy Coney Barrett did not become a Supreme Court justice because of her neutrality. Like a lot of conservative judges, she's a product in part of the powerful Federalist Society, whose mission is to get as many right-wing judges into the judiciary as possible, among, other things. Last night, Barrett's fellow conservative justice now, Samuel Alito, gave a speech to the Federal Society's annual conference. Now, Alito is already on the court, of course, so he didn't have to pretend he has no agenda. And so last night, Justice Samuel Alito delivered remarks that were absolutely shot through with conservative tropes and Fox News grievance.
You can't say that marriage is a union between one man and one woman. Until very recently, that's what the vast majority of Americans thought. Now it's considered bigotry. I wrote the following. I assume that those who cling to old beliefs will be able to whisper their thoughts in the recesses of their homes. But if they repeat those views in public, they will risk being labeled as bigots and treated as such by governments, employers, and schools. That is just what is coming to pass. One of the great challenges for the Supreme Court going forward will be to protect freedom of speech.
Alito spent much of his remarks complaining about the real and imagined treatment of conservatives in this country. Always the victims and the victor at the same time. It's funny how that works. He complained that Colorado had tried to compel a baker to make a cake for a same-sex couple, that a religious group had been forced to opt out of a contraceptive mandate in healthcare coverage, that churches can't host big gatherings because of COVID-19.
The pandemic has resulted in previously unimaginable restrictions on individual liberty. It pains me to say this, but in certain quarters, religious liberty is fast becoming a disfavored right. For many today, religious liberty is not a cherished freedom. It's often just an excuse for bigotry, and it can't be tolerated.
You're right, Sam. Let's pack them all into the churches now as we hit 170,000 cases a day. That's a great idea. Alito, who famously shook his head at the audacity of President Obama criticizing a court decision in the State of the Union, suggested in his speech that Democratic senators lack professionalism for warning the court was becoming too political, even as he, a Supreme Court justice, was giving a speech that sounded like a slightly upscale Judge Jeanine monologue. Right now, we have a 6-3 conservative Supreme Court, and Democrats are governing in a country where they keep winning national majorities but have a bunch of institutions, including that court, just stacked against them. We're going to talk about how they can deal with that brutal fact right after this.